Welcome to another episode of Behind the Pixel. I'm your host, Joe. People often describe me as laid back. It seems to be a mixture of my appearance, demeanor, and constant need to make a joke no matter the situation. I assure you, I do not feel laid back at all. I'm a constant ball of stress and always thinking about a million different things, most of which will never come to fruition. Part of it is also my lack of concern over things that seem significant to others, but to me, in the grand scheme of things, are pretty minuscule. It's due to multiple traumatic experiences and struggles throughout my life that for something to register as an issue to me, something that should bother me, it needs to be pretty big. You don't reach that point at a young age without seeing the darker side of life. Stephen Lotus has this same type of personality. It's in the way he speaks, his perspective on life. It's in his art and how he describes what it means to him. What can come off in others as insincerity, a lack of depth in character or thought, or just simple superficiality and wanting to maintain a positive persona, is Stephen's true self. Every experience he has is just a pit stop, another landmark in his life, just like his art, which grows and evolves with him. You haven't made the switch yet to selling art full-time yet. Is it at least supplementing it yet, or are you still?
It pays a few bills,
Yeah,
per month. Yeah,
that's
it pays
good.
a few bills per month.
But it's
Um,
mostly like your prints that are still doing that, right?
it's actually more like cover art and like stuff like that. So like cover art and cover like NFT designs for people. Um, yeah, mostly yeah. So
What do you do exactly with like NFT cover design? Like, what are people asking you to do?
really, it's all the same thing. I mean, they just want some artwork, and whether it's static or dynamic, moving. Because I started adding like very, very simple animations to my artwork. So people, they just want the art. They just want the art. So they'll use my art as their NFT, or they'll like paste it into something that they have. Or they want me to make a card or something for them. I know one group uh, commissioned me to make these different like membership cards for them. They've got like the whole this big cryptocurrency group where when members join, they can like level up and whatever, and so they can buy different tiers of membership. And so I created their cards and their graphic like for their whole like membership thing, which is pretty cool. Yeah. So yeah, and cover art.
Does doing art like that give you the same sense of satisfaction or accomplishment?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, because it's like that's like the new. It's NFTs. I guess they're the new whatever. I mean, whatever you want to call it, it's the new thing. And I mean, yeah, of course. I mean, because it's just like, oh, people want to use my artwork. They want me to design it. It's the same thing to me, but this is just what's hot. And so yeah, it's like, oh, people want to use my cover art. Or they want my artwork to represent them and their vision, their mission. I mean, that's awesome. You know, um, I mean, it's just great. Like, I mean, there's really um I wouldn't say maybe not that there's no other greater ego boost, but it's up there. I mean, come on, man. Like
Yeah.
musicians. It's just like musicians, other artists, visual artists. They just they want to collaborate or whatever. I mean, that's just the
Yeah.
coolest thing, man.
Yeah, that is.
Honestly.
Yeah, it's nice. And I get that. You're so used to hearing about people finally like getting their shot to like make it as an artist, like in the digital world. And because it's such a hot topic and commodity right now. People are, finally like, yes, I'm an independent artist and I've made it. And here people are still kind of like commissioning you to make stuff for them, and you don't hear that a lot, which is, I mean, I hope they're rewarding you for it in the long run, because like, you're good. And
Thanks, man.
I hope, like, I know it's still tough, like being an artist, an independent artist, and like it's a lot of work, but you should be able to make it on your own and shouldn't have to rely on other people saying like, yeah, we like your work, but we want to use it for us, you know. And I'm not trying to downgrade what happened. I'm sorry.
No, I get it. It's just,
That's yeah.
but I mean, hey, it's like, I think like if people, they may have, maybe they've got a vision, but they don't know how to put it together, and they want me to help them out. I mean, that's just like with any, I mean, any artist. I mean, and that's what that's basically what commissions are for. I mean,
Yeah.
that's to bring someone else's vision to life. And it just so happens that they want to, use your vision and pay you for it. So, I mean, that's great, man. Like, I mean, that's, Joe, like, that is just awesome. I mean, yeah, okay, so, okay, so somebody, I mean, it's different when you're talking about collecting art. That's different, I mean, okay, yeah, someone wants to collect my art, but, with NFTs, that whole art collection kind of game has changed because now you can, with NFTs you can track royalties. Like you can get royalties, when you sell, when, let's say, a collector sells your artwork to someone else or whatever, they trade it. I mean, you get paid for that. Normally, I mean, that's a lot harder to do, a lot harder to track when you're talking about just strictly physical pieces. I mean, you can have, your certificate of authentication connected to an NFT, but I mean, before that wasn't a thing. So I mean, it's just the game's changed. But it's cool also for me, to know that other people want, hey, they want to use my artwork too. They want, instead of them stealing it, because yeah, there's a lot of thieves, in the digital art world. But it's like, when somebody has integrity, whatever, and they really like your artwork enough not to steal it, that's a big deal.
Have you had issues with that in the past, with people stealing your stuff?
Yeah, and I still do. I mean, people, you know, um, I've seen someone like put my artwork on. It was I think it was like a blanket, or it was something. But I don't even know who it was. I think it was like curtains, actually. I don't know who it was or whatever, but it almost looked like a one of those like Chinese like scam websites. Not saying that Chinese people are scammers, but it was like, I think it was like an actual like Chinese website. Yeah. But yeah, also somebody unknowingly used my. You know what? Actually, I don't know if they didn't know. I'm not sure, but they claimed that they didn't know it was mine. Um,
Well, they had to find it from somewhere.
yeah, yeah. Um, and so, I had them like pay me for the cover art, which they did, and I
Okay.
like I like what they produce. So it was ended up being a good relationship.
Okay, so while that's not the ideal way to go about something, it's still kind of cool that it turned
Yeah,
out positive for you.
yeah, absolutely. I mean, but people will like expect like Instagram or what, just all over social media. You know, you got those like kind of curator sites or whatever, or they'll just post the artwork with no credit. And I mean, and to me, that's kind of it feels like stealing.
That is stealing as far as I'm concerned, because they are trying to attract an audience by using your work, and people see Instagram as a way to profit on something with, their following. So as far as I'm concerned, that is stealing. So I didn't realize we were going to be talking about this. So what's it like having that many followers and stuff, like to the point where people are stealing your stuff? Like, is it strange for you? Because like you and I are talking, and you are, a likable guy and
Thanks.
completely normal. Thanks. Thanks for that mediocre comment. But no, like you're just like, you're a regular guy like anyone else. Like, is it weird that like your art is out there for others that are like, I guess jealous is the right word for it. So jealous that like, yes, I need to take this guy's stuff. Like that, like, is it strange being popular in that way?
Um, hmm. I would say that it's definitely been kind of like a gradual thing. So, it's not shocking, it's not jarring. Uh, but I mean, it kind of does get under my skin just a little bit. But it's like, wow, these people, they really like my artwork. I mean, it's just, again, I mean, whatever it is, it kind of is ends up being an ego boost a little, because hey, I mean, they like my artwork so much. I mean, they got to use it. you know so I mean, and you know what, I've seen my artwork being used for a number of like different things. People want to sell, honestly, they want to sell like drugs. They want to sell like their yoga class. um yeah, like stuff like that, and so sometimes people will ask me, yeah, they'll ask me, but then they'll end up using my artwork anyway, after I tell them no, or I'll send them a contract or whatever to sign, and they just ignore it. So it's cool in a way, but it's also like, yeah, because, I mean, yeah, ask first.
Did that bother you at all to find out that's how your art was being used? I mean, it should have bothered you enough that it was being stolen, probably.
No, well, here's the thing, like, it's I mean, so okay, I mean, I'll give you a scenario of what happened. Or one time. I mean, this has happened a few times, but this one instance where, I mean, it was just somebody let me know. I guess I have so many followers. I got, and just so many supporters already, that somebody just let me know. Um, and it was just crazy because I had no clue. And sometimes, if I'm posting a lot, you know, I'll miss notifications. So, little did I know this page was using my artwork for like a month or two, something like that. I had no clue, not tagging me or anything, just, and yeah, somebody let me know. They say, hey, Steven, this and that. But it was when in like my filtered, sometimes, I'll check the filtered messages and just go through it and whatever. Most of the time, it's just kind of whatever kind of notifications, stuff that I don't really need to respond to. But then someone was like, hey, this person's using your artwork, and I looked and like, whoa, like, wow, I had no idea. I mean, I I wasn't completely shocked because, okay, yeah, I know half of my audience, well, a third, maybe a third of my third of my audience, they're into that kind of stuff. So okay, sure, but I didn't know that somebody was trying to just completely take my whole profile. So I just reported them to Instagram. I don't know what happened after that.
Huh. That's
It
interesting.
was just so crazy. Like, oh, what? I
Yeah.
mean, I can't really say they were, giving me a bad name. They weren't using my name, and already like, most people already associate my artwork with that stuff anyway. So
um, so then, how do you handle that, I guess, association with drug culture and people that look at your art that way and are always reaching out about drug use. Like, do you embrace that? Do you shy away from it? I mean, what do you do?
I think that my artwork is whatever it is to the observer. It's whatever speaks to the observer. That's what it is. So, I mean, I I have no say so in what it really means to someone. So, I mean, I take it with a grain of salt, and whatever it is, I mean, that's what it is. So, I like just as long as it's something and it's not just you know as long as it's not bad, that's it. But like most of the time, people aren't saying, "Oh man, your artwork sucks." They're just like, "Man, this artwork, your artwork, man, it takes me somewhere, man." And I see this, and I just like, wow, I saw this in a dream, or I saw this when I was tripping, or I just see this when I'm meditating. Like, oh wow.
Okay.
So all that stuff, man, it's the craziest things that I've heard people say about my artwork. And I just I let it flow. I mean, it's
Yeah,
really a feeling. So, you know, I mean, whatever it is, that's what my
yeah,
artwork is to these people.
I know. And um, I mean, as much as I strive to be that like easygoing as you, like I'm still very like want to like control like what how people perceive anything I do say or specifically write. And I guess that's why I kind of lean that way towards writing, because while there is some interpretation open, it's also very explicit as to what is being communicated to someone else most of the time, you know?
Yeah, and that I think like being an artist really, or creative of any kind, that bridging that gap between like what you kind of want it to be viewed as, and then what everyone is going to take it as, it's kind of hard to bridge that gap. So, but yeah, and it's tough. I feel like I didn't always have that. I mean, it's I feel like it's something that I have to kind of work towards, and I feel like I'm still working towards it. Honestly, and I feel like my artwork, it's been a journey. I've been evolving with it since 2009 ish. That's when I got my first camera phone, and from then, my artwork's been evolving. So, what you see today is like, it's, I guess you can take it as like the high point or whatever, but to me, this is just the next step in whatever my journey is. So each piece that I create, that is where I am on my journey, or that is what I want uh people to observe, on this evolution. It's like it's like a train, or like a spaceship that it really, it has no real clear direction, but it's going somewhere.
Yeah.
And and everyone is welcome to ride that spaceship with me.
Yeah. How old are you?
27. Yeah,
Right.
I
Okay,
was
that's what I
yeah I
thought.
was born in '93.
I was staying up late watching baseball games in '93. Oh my god.
Oh
I
wow.
was Yeah, I was 9
Yeah.
in '93. um and I asked because you have more wisdom than most people your age. And
Wow.
I was kind of one of those people at your age, but that's because of my experience. And I had to like grow up quickly and at a younger age. Like I've got the wisdom of a 65-year-old man, but I'm 37, even though I'm starting to look like a 65-year-old man. Um, but um, like I don't know how you ask someone this question, because I already know what the answer is. But like,
Shoot, man.
how do you gain that wisdom? Like, how do you
Oh.
get to that point? And I already know what your answer is going to be,
Uh,
but try to answer it.
well, I don't know. So I that's a uh, that is a good question. But also, I'm curious how do you know what my answer would be? So one, I'm gonna say well, I'm the oldest. I'm the oldest child. I
Ah,
got two younger brothers. Um
okay. All right. No, that wasn't what I thought your response was going to be. No, I thought your response was going to be just the fact that you just have to go through it to experience it and gain it.
well,
Um,
that is very
but
true. That I mean, starting point, yeah. First of all, uh, yeah, I'm the oldest. I got two younger brothers, but I mean, you do just have to go through it. I mean, you really have to, um, you know, you gotta you gotta wear different boots, man. You gotta wear different boots. You have to just jump through the rings of fire, you know. And sometimes it looks like, sometimes it doesn't look like fire. Sometimes it is fire and it's really hot. But you just gotta muscle your way through it.
I'm also the oldest of my family, which is weird.
Oh,
Um,
see, maybe that's it, Joe. Maybe
maybe
that's
that's it.
really.
Maybe it's something very simple like that. Did you have to like take care of your brothers or anything? Like you don't have to get
I mean,
too personal or anything.
sometimes, yeah, sometimes, I did.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just the duty of the eldest sibling. You know,
Yeah.
I mean,
Shit gets put on us just because we're older, and we go through these things that are tough. Like my mom died when I was 20, and I've got two younger siblings that you know don't expect me to know how to handle it, but they still hope that you have something to offer in the form of wisdom or answers, because who else are you supposed to look to during times like that?
yeah, and I mean, it's not like I've definitely been put in quite a handful of situations, where I just need to know things. I need to know how to go about things, and because I'm like one of those people who I want to help someone out, but also, I'm the type of person that people are just going to come to for whatever reason, and I also study people. I study, their behaviors, in my environment and whatever, so. But then again, I think that also kind of comes back to just being an older sibling, and sometimes you just have to be more aware, more vigilant, and really, analyze things a lot quicker. So there's that, because not a lot of things aren't handed to you. So it's yeah. So, but I mean, as far as my artwork is concerned, I mean, someone like, actually, people ask me, "Hey, man, what tutorial have you seen, or like what's how did you learn? Did you go to school for this, or And then I mean, that's just it. I have done it all. I've gone through all of this myself. I mean, it's just you just gotta pick it up and do it. You just gotta pick it up, figure it out. What do you want to do, and just pick at it, because you know no one can teach me how to do this. I mean, I don't even know how I do it.
Did you go to school for art?
No, no, not even close.
What did you go to school for?
I went to school for mechanical engineering.
Oh.
Yeah, yeah.
So, I went to school for to be a teacher and a therapist, because who's going to pay someone to write a book or poetry for that matter? Was that a similar thought with you?
I mean, it was. I mean, art was just really something I just wanted to do for fun, and just kind of, I just want to, put my vision out there. What I think, you know, people should see. This is what I want to make, and so boom, here you go. But it's also, it's just like a journey that I'm on, and it's just way. This is just the way that I express myself. But I mean, mechanical engineering. I mean, I've just always kind of been. I've always liked math. And I thought I could get, $1 million job, like uh, designing something or becoming a world around engineer of sorts or whatever. you know of course that idea or that whole concept kind of changed halfway through school. It's kind of like real world stuff started to hit me. And you know well, now I'm at like a job that I'm not in love with it, honestly. But it keeps pays the bills or whatever. Um, but I spend my free time on artwork. So I'm content in a way. But if say I sell some artwork for $2 trillion, I'm gonna quit my job. Like, it's a duh. Duh. I mean, who wouldn't? I mean, hey, it's something that I do on my free time for fun. And sometimes people pay me for it right now, so that's good.
I don't think that experience is unique in this space. That we're all just waiting for some recognition and some validation in the form of here's some money. I want you to keep making more of what you're doing.
Yeah, and that's cool. I mean, that's cool. Like, I mean, I don't know. I mean, however you slice it, that is just great. I mean, what? So, it's people. So at art shows, when I'm selling art or whatever, showing art. Well, this is pre-pandemic. Uh, People would, sometimes, okay, they would buy the prints or whatever, but I would get some uh, real time feedback and validation, if you will. Right then and there, people would, oh man, I love your artwork, man. This is in person, real time. Oh, Steven, your artwork is this, it means this to me. I saw this in a dream, stuff like that. And that right there, I mean, that is priceless. Honestly, that's priceless. Um, and getting paid for it is great. I mean, it's not like, I I mean, money. Yeah, I can do things with money. I guess I can't really do things with compliments. They make me feel good.
If we valued art and creating just for creation's sake, um, you would be able to live off of that validation because you would be able to. We would say collectively as a society that art is valuable. So artists, here is a grant program for all of you. Just stay home, just make stuff. And if we decide collectively as a society that yes, we're going to hang this on this wall, XYZ, all this stuff, then you keep doing it. And that's all we want from you. And then you can live off of those compliments. And this is some perfect utopian society that's probably never going to exist.
I think it exists for very few people. Very, very, very few people. Um, you know, I mean, that's like getting you get a residency somewhere and they just pay you forever. Or I guess until the residency is up. But I mean, I actually don't know anybody with that currently.
Right. And I do think that your experience is more common than that. But I also do think that our misguided values as a society play a role in it as well, you know?
Yeah, I mean, definitely. I think capitalism has skewed the value of art in many ways. I'm sure, but I mean, because now so actually, so yeah, capitalism and social media. I also want to add that too. So because like some people will, you know, their art may be, I mean, fantastic, phenomenal in many respects, but the engagement may not show, you know, the engagement, like they may not have like a lot of likes or followers, but that to me, that doesn't mean that their art isn't good by any standard. Their artwork is good, probably by many standards, and they really deserve the recognition, the money, engagements, and whatever, blah blah blah. But I think the highest level, honestly, like the highest level, even this is beyond money, the highest level of validation one artist can receive is from another artist that they admire. If there is someone like that, I like, and this has happened to me. Like, I mean, this has really like shot me into the sun, man. Some artists that I used to look up to, or whoever, I really love their artwork, and they respond to me, and they also, it's like a mutual thing. They like my artwork too, you know. That is just, I mean, you money can't buy that. You can't dive. No, I mean, no, that is like, oh man, ask any artist, and they will tell you, that might not be on the forefront of their mind, maybe because it hasn't happened yet, but that has happened to me quite a few times, since my social media journey in the last like year and a half. Yeah, these, man, it's just so, it is awesome.
What artist would that be for you?
One artist who I love his work. But he responded to me before, but this is like before he really blew up. Um, his name is and maybe, I'm pretty sure you've seen his artwork. His name is Logan Slive or Salve. I'm pretty sure I'm Lil Black Goat on Instagram. I'm probably pronouncing his name wrong. That guy, he like, I am a huge fan, and like, his he's kind of in a different realm, of artwork. But man, there's just something about him. I Wow. I remember when he had like seven, eight, like six, or between like 6 and 8,000 followers. And then he just like blew up. He like, I just saw his engagement. I said, man, and I was just so happy for him when I saw him gaining all that popularity and celebrities buying his artwork, and that is just wow. I mean, that really made my day. Just seeing him blow up. Yeah. I yeah, yeah. So like, if he reaches out and is like, hey man, I love your artwork, bro. Like, oh man, I would just lose it.
Well, the engagement stuff, hopefully our community can bring that to you, because this happened the other day on Twitter. An artist that I had interviewed was featured in the Washington Post, and it was a different experience because I didn't do anything to help get her there. Um, all I did was have a 45-minute conversation with her for the podcast. But like, seeing her succeed and get just acknowledged that she was talented, that she was good, like, it wasn't that I was proud of her and I'm not jealous of her. I'm just like extremely happy that she is having that experience, that validation. And
It's
I hope
huge.
that I know. And I hope that when we do a drop with your work, that um, everyone in our community is going to have the same effect, because I do think that is something that's missing, because you've been doing NFTs for, I think I've been following you for 2 or 3 months now, and it's tough sometimes because you're not getting positive feedback all the time, and unless people are like buying it, and unless it goes like viral, it's kind of isolating. Would
Yeah.
you agree?
Yeah. I mean, I think so. I mean, but then also you just kind of have to stay on it. So
Mm-hmm.
I have posted two NFTs.
Mm-hmm.
And I actually, as of right now, I don't know if they have sold yet or if any is bought. Like, I mean, I guess I haven't gotten a notification, but it's also something that, it's something that I kind of lost track of, honestly. You know, it's just, priorities. And when I'm getting commissions to make cover art or NFTs for other people or whatever, I mean, I'm going to put my energy towards that, and I see a lot of people or a lot of artists, they'll stay on social media and just promote and promote, but honestly, I need a manager or somebody because all I want to do is make art, and I would rather, put out, fewer pieces that I am absolutely like in love with or, whatever, instead of just constantly, posting this, that, blah, blah, blah. And I would rather other people do that for me, and they do actually. And that's why that's really why I'm where I'm at right now. A combination of other people just sharing my artwork, on their platforms, and just my consistency. Just posting quality stuff. Maybe not posting every day or every other day, but when I do post, um, it's to me, I think it's quality, and so hopefully other people feel the same. But you really never know what your artwork, how it's going to impact people.
Yeah, again, I think it goes back to you being a little wiser than most people your age. Because, I mean, even people my age, and I'm 10 years older than you, we grew up in the age of the internet, and we feel this need to constantly be marketing ourselves to others so we get our validation as a human being. And yet, here you are, kind of taking a step back, and it's a cliche, keep your head down, and all those other ones about hustling and working, and eventually, if you persevere, you'll be successful. And those things become cliches because we reuse that, and they are proven true again and again. So, yeah, I know that eventually you will get there.
Yeah, and I mean, part of that for me is a little bit of laziness too. Honestly, I'm not even gonna front. I'm not gonna front. Like it's. I mean, yeah. Like, hey, like I just want to make artwork. It's so guess I'm just too lazy to post. Hey guys, buy my whatever. I don't know. It's like, I kind of I want people to, if they want to buy it, they're just gonna jump for it. And sometimes they do. Sometimes they do just jump for it. So it's it's yeah it's I mean, I guess it's like more fun that way too. It's less pressure.
The woman that was featured in the Washington Post this past week, she had the same experience as you two. She put up a few of her NFTs and just forgot about it, and then went back to work. Um, so there's a pattern forming. So I don't want to say that you're going to be the most famous artist someday, but there is a pattern to successful people for sure, in this space. So
This is actually
and
something I learned at school as well. Mechanical engineering, whatever. I was also like involved on campus and stuff like that. But just during my evolution, during my journey, I've learned that uh, success won't happen if you stop. So you just have to keep going. I mean, yeah, you can take a break. You can go on a small hiatus or whatever you want to call it, but just don't stop. I mean, everybody that is successful never stopped. I mean, just
resiliency and persistence.
absolutely.
That's it.
Yeah. I mean, I sometimes I guess you might feel like you're losing your mojo, but you can't stop, man. You just gotta keep it going. Like, take a break, man. I mean,
You said
so no, it's really, it's all about the mojo, man. Like, when you got, yeah,
Steven.
because sometimes I feel like I lose my mojo, and
Uh,
sometimes, you just got to get back into it.
yeah, we're gonna end there. That's it. You've down. Maybe this is the true picture of who you are. You've got all this wisdom, but then you bring it back to earth and remind everyone, well, I'm a human too, and I don't always come up with profound things to say, and sometimes it's just about my mojo.
I mean, yeah, it's about the mojo, honestly. At the end of the day.
Steve, you make me laugh, man. I'd like to thank my guests for taking the time to speak with me. I'd also like to thank the DJ, Aiden, for allowing me to use his music. And if you liked what you heard, make sure to subscribe, like, and share it. Thanks for listening.